This video we're going to be rounding up our mini series of which are the best strategists. We've already done Vanguards and Duelists, so you can check out those videos at the end of this one. In this video we're going to go over which ones have the fastest time to kill, but not only that, because there's only so few of them, we also calculated which ones actually heal the quickest within the game as well. Getting straight into the numbers now, we've got all of the damage values for these characters. Obviously they don't have a lot of damage attacks, but the primary attack is the one that we want to focus on the most. We did have to calculate the rate of fire separately to the website because some of them are not actually available on the website, or quite clear for that matter, so we went in and tested them manually. Also, the damage values we did also test as well, and we done Cloak and Dagger separately because technically they're two separate characters. But when it comes to the highest damage output for primary attacks, Adam Warlock, Cloak, Luna Snow, and Jeff the Shark seem to be doing the best. But it's not all just about the actual damage number itself, it's about how much output they have as well. They've also got secondary attacks as well, which obviously is something we do need to talk about quickly. So when it comes to damage with Loki, the main attack we tested was his primary attack, which only deals spell field damage at 30 damage. Now, what we also tested was the doppelgangers, because as you place a doppelganger down and you fire in the same direction, you start to deal 3 times the amount of damage as we mentioned before. Now, doing this with Loki, you actually get 4.89 seconds of a time to kill, so is much quicker than what his base TTK is by himself, which we will show you in just a moment. But this way you're dealing the most amount of damage, and also you're getting the most amount of healing as well, because you aim all of your shots towards your teammates as well. Next character we tested was Mantis, very easy one. She deals basically 50 damage per attack, and she fires at 150 rounds per minute, which is actually not too bad at all. Now, the secondary damage that we tested was the sleep attack, which does deal 10 damage to begin with, and then obviously it stuns the enemy for a very long time. Next up, we've got Rocket Raccoon, who basically deals 16 damage per bullet, and he fires at 723 rounds per minute, which is pretty solid damage output, to be honest. Then he also has his ultimate where it gives him 40% extra damage, which then to kill a 800 HP player, it actually allows him to kill it in 2.89 seconds. So anything under 3 seconds within this game is actually pretty solid. Next up, we've got Cloak and Dagger, and first of all we've got Dagger up first, and she deals 15 damage per strike, which is basically the same as Rocket's bullet, and she fires at 136 rounds per minute, which is far too slow to deal any sort of good amount of damage. Switching into Cloak now, the way Cloak actually deals damage is 75 damage a second. So as you hold this down for a second, he's dealing 75 damage in total. So the way you calculate this time to kill is slightly different because there's technically no rate of fire here. It's just basically hold, and it kind of locks on as well because you've kind of got aimbot here. Next up, we've got Luna Snow, who fires at 120 rounds per second, which we've tested. And also she deals 60 damage per primary attack, and it's kind of like a burst attack, so that's a good amount of damage there. We also calculated our secondary attack, which is the L2 here, which is like that ice blast thing which freezes the enemy, and that deals 50 damage, which is actually pretty solid, and obviously it freezes them in place as well. Like I said, Adam Warlock's main attack deals 55 damage. He does fire pretty quick as well, 120 rounds per minute also. And he also has a secondary attack which charges up and then deals 190 damage, which is pretty solid, by the way. But that's only if you land all 5 of those strikes, because it's actually a 5 attack thing that he deals there, so it spreads out. But as long as you're hitting the target and you get all shots landed, you deal 190 damage. And lastly, you've got Jeff the Shark, who deals 65 damage per blast here that he does, and he fires at 105 rounds per minute. So back to the spreadsheet to round off the damage portion of this video, and that is getting into the TTKs. And as you can see here, when it comes to 800 HP, we've got a lot of different variations in TTK numbers. Now, obviously we're going to arrange for the 800 HP and who kills the quickest. And as you can see here, Rocket's actually the fastest killing character when it comes to the healers within the game, and that's kind of expected because you can kind of tell his damage output's pretty solid. Then we have Mantis and then Luna Snow as well. Jeff the Shark does a pretty solid job at 800 HP. We're checking now 600 HP as well, and again we're looking at the numbers staying pretty much the same and the characters in the same order, and the same goes for 2 and 400 HP as well. Now, one thing I do want to mention though is, like I said, when it comes to characters like Adam Warlock, if you use that secondary attack, you're going to be dealing a ton of damage with that. Obviously with Loki, if you do have doppelgangers in use, then you're obviously going to gain faster TTK numbers. So basically your TTK goes from 14.67 with Loki down to 4.89 seconds at 800 HP character. So that is a really massive change, and it doesn't make it as quick as Rocket, but it makes it really quick, to be fair. So Cloak and Dagger, in my opinion, are just a really weird one, because even Cloak doesn't kill as quick as you'd expect. Dagger kills extremely slow, like there's pretty much no point in using her ability to do damage whatsoever. The one thing I don't really want to skim over here is how much damage, especially Rocket Raccoon, is outputting within this game. Because for a healer, he's actually outperforming most DPS characters in this game. There's only a couple that actually outperform him, and he literally sits in between the two fastest killing DPS characters, which is Star-Lord and Winter Soldier. So basically Rocket could be a DPS character within this game, to be honest, because he outputs that much damage. Mantis, Luna Slow and Jeff the Shark all sit within a very good range in terms of TTKs, even compared to duelists within this game as well. So next up, I wanted to test the primary healing abilities for all these characters. Now, a lot of them have 2 or 3 healing abilities, but I just wanted to test the main ones. So for Rocket, it's these health packs that he uses, which heals teammates as he fires them. For Mantis, it's the L2 healing ability, which heals teammates over time. For Loki, it's his primary healing ability, which is basically his primary attack as well. For Cloak and Dagger, it's Dagger's primary attack, or daggers essentially, which she does deal health with. And she also does have other abilities too, like I mentioned, but this is the main one I wanted to test. For Luna Snow, it's her primary healing and primary attack ability, which is the exact same thing. For Adam Warlock, it's the R1 ability, or this line, which actually heals your teammates for a certain amount of health. And for Jeff the Shark, it's his water hose that he uses to heal teammates with, which is basically his main ability. So let's get on into who can actually heal the quickest within this game. And I want to get through a few things first. So a lot of these characters have 2 or 3 different ways of actually healing teammates. So this is not going to be the kind of be all end all, this character is definitely the best. But I want to know who's the easiest and quickest to heal teammates with. And first of all, we've got Adam Warlock, who gives you a primary heal of 95, and he's got 2 of these abilities before you need to wait for the cooldown. That means you can get a player or teammate to 190 HP within pretty much instant timing. So you can do that straight away, spam the attack or the ability twice, and you get them to 190 HP. Cloak and Dagger's attack, basically you get 10 HP at a rate of 136 attacks or heals per minute, which basically is going to take 34 seconds or 35 seconds roughly to heal a 800 HP player, which is pretty insane. That is far too long. Now obviously she's got the kind of wall ability, which gives extra health and things like that, which you're going to be using in between this, but as a primary healing, I think that's just really low in my personal opinion. Loki's up next, and he deals 40 heals per 105 rounds per minute, which is actually not too bad, but again, you're going to get more heals when you use more than one doppelganger, so that you can get this 10.86 seconds down to 3.62 seconds as a heal, which is Luna Snow primary heal 60 heals, 120 heals per minute, and it's 6.17 seconds to heal at 800 HP. Mantis, the way she deals healing is that she uses the ability, it gives you 55 heals or 55 health immediately, and then it also gives you health over time for 8 seconds as well. So you can get a character from 0 HP or 1 HP to then 215 HP off of just one ability. Now that's providing your teammates not taking damage at this point. If they are, then obviously it's not going to be the full amount. Then we've got Rocket, who can then heal with the health packs at 60 HP per health pack, and he fires at 120 rounds per minute, which gives you 6.17 seconds to heal at 800 HP character, which is the exact same as Luna Snow. Opinion. Then we've got Jeff the Shark, who's an absolutely insane healer in this game. As you can see, the numbers just outperform anyone, even with Mantis's ability, even with Loki using doppelgangers, even with Adam Warlock giving you basically 200 HP instantly. Jeff the Shark just heals at a ridiculous rate, right? So his fire rate's 1,200 heals per minute, and he gives you 140 HP. So that is why Jeff the Shark could heal players so quickly. As you can see here, for a 200 HP character, you're getting healed in less than a second. Like, it's ridiculous numbers, right? Instant heals with Jeff the Shark, more or less. So there we have it. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about your favorite strategists within Marvel Rivals. We've got more characters being added into this game, so we will update all these lists as we get into the future, and we'll be updating the spreadsheets as well. And thank you very much for watching.